Hi, my darlings, I'm Sophie Darling, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're reacting to episode 44 of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Last episode, we saw the departure of Mei and Xiao Mei, which I'm really sad about, but they are on their way back to Zing with Envy, who is a little worm in the bottle and is weirdly adorable. We had the little cutscene at the end of the episode with Hohenheim meeting Al because they have gone to Leo. Because Al's like, that's where the tunnel will be, and we can get there and we can destroy it. So Hohenheim's already there, and he's doing little chores. So they've been reunited with Rose, and he now gets to see his dad. Ed, we still haven't seen since the episode where he was rescued by the Chimeras, and they picked up Kimberly's Philosopher's Stone. I want to know where Ed is. What's Ed doing right now? Because I know he's sort of jerry-rigged a system to be able to make sure that he can survive what happened to him, like to stem the internal bleeding, but we still haven't seen where they've gone, what they're up to. Olivier's just been shown this immortal army that's been created. She's been let in on some of the secrets in Central. It's getting crazy. We honestly don't have that many episodes left before we finish the show. I think when we get to episode 45, we have 20, maybe? Is it 20? Am I just doing maths really badly? I think so. 25? I think we have 25 or 24 episodes left. I think there's 64. Possibly. Either way, I know we're near the end and I'm kind of really sad because this has been an amazing show, an amazing experience. This is such a good display of story writing. Every character has depth. No character is just thrown in for the fun of it. Every character is lovable, likable. You know, a show is well written when even the antagonists are so likable and so enjoyable, and you can't quite hate them because they're also really cool. I've enjoyed every minute of this journey, so I'm really excited to see how the show gets concluded. I'm still hoping that Ed and Winry are endgame. I will be devastated if they're not because they very much deserve each other. And if Al ever gets his body back, and if Ed gets his body back as well, because obviously he's trying to restore his limbs so he doesn't have to rely on automail anymore, but it's kind of weird to think of him not having automail. We're so used to it at this point that it's kind of strange to think of him going back to normal and having no use for it. But we shall see. We will delve into this adventure and see what episode 44 has in store for us. Yeah, but it's different hearing about it and seeing it. Oh. That they accidentally broke. Feels like a lifetime ago. Everyone's working together towards a better future. I swear to God, if I cry, I'm not gonna be happy if I cry. But everyone's been brought together. Yoki just getting dragged around. He's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, 何年も前に家を出ちゃったんで、父親として信用されてないだろうし、何を話せばいいのやら。He's not like Ed, that's the thing. Al is a lot more forgiving and trusting and accepting, whereas Ed is very protective and closed off. But that's probably because Ed feels like he had to step into the role that his father left behind for Al. That's a very, like... Isn't she like a teenager? I don't think we should be seeing that, maybe.
その若さでオートメール職人として自立してるなんてすごいな。エドが立ち上がるための足を作った人か。回り回って私を立ち上がらせてくれたんだから、 ウィンリーさんは私の恩人でもあるわね。
Oh, she's gonna tell Winry about her experience with the boys. Most specifically with Ed. I'm not a prude by any means, but she's like 15. I really don't think we needed a full outline of her body in that tub. I have never critiqued this show at all, but that felt quite out of pocket. I'm not gonna lie, that made me a little bit uncomfortable. Again, I'm not a prude, but she is a child. I just don't think that was necessary. I was like, you can show her in the bath without doing like a full outline of her body, like her breasts and everything. Like, it could have been a bath full of suds. Like, there's a way to do it without it almost coming across like a minor is being sexualized. And I understand that a woman is writing this. I get it. Maybe it's just me, but I don't feel like that's really appropriate considering her age. And she's never had any scenes like that prior. We've never really seen anything like that prior. So it just kind of caught me off guard, threw me off a little bit. Like, that is just not something I anticipated the show to do. So I am a little bit like taken aback. Again, people might think I'm blowing it out of proportion, and that's completely fair. You are entitled to your opinion. I just think it was unnecessary. And again, she's a child. We don't need scenes like that when depicting a minor, but hey ho, I'm not going to dwell on it. We're going to get into it, but I just kind of had to like voice my thoughts there.
今まですがってきたものが突然消えて絶望したわ。そしたらエドに怒られちゃった。自分の足で立って歩けって。
So she was clinging to him for an answer, and he's like, I don't have it for you.
優しくなれないのかな。優しかったわ。あれがエドの優しさ。
You have to pick yourself up and move forward. Doesn't have to placate people to be nice, you know?
自分の力で立ち直ろうとしている。エドとアルのおかげよ。
It's their legacy.
軍の奴らにくっついてきたはいいけど、なんだか
Yeah, he's on the lookout for Greed. We haven't seen Greed/Ling for a while. I think the last time we saw them was when they had a conversation with Raph up on the rooftops. And Raph kind of looked at Ling weird because Wing and Raph looking taken aback because Ling told him not to say that humans were foolish. Oh, so he's already here when this whole conversation's taking place with Olivier.
人の形をした入れ物に魂を定着させ兵を作る。我々の命令のままに戦う最高の兵。
That's disgusting. But they'll fail.
その定着させる魂とやらは
Because the soul will always yearn for the body. It will always
我々
pull.
が踏みにじった、あるいはこれから踏みにじる国の者たちからだ。
Oh, that's horrendous.
セントラルコエひでとんでもねえ
It is.
グリードさんがいるわけね
He's here! Does he remember though? Because like he's a different version. I love the fist. The fist is still there from like episode 3.
そしたら父さんがいてびっくりしたよ。セントラルの地下で父さんそっくりな男を見たんだ。
He's just glad it's not his dad.
父さんと無関係だとは思えない。あいつが何者か知ってるんじゃないか。
You're gonna have to tell him.
の人間だったらどうする
But you're not though.
こんなに喋って筒抜けになるとは考えなかったの
He's winding you
俺
up.
を信用してくれてありがとうな嬉しいよ
Gonna give him a heart attack.
こんな男でも一応父親と見て信じてくれてんのかね
Ed can't because Ed's just hot-headed and stubborn.
話せば長
But he
くなる
loves
な
his dad. He's just
エドワ
not
ード
as
にも聞いても
forgiving.
らいたいんだが
代理のものだ。委任状と署名もある。
What are you withdrawing money for? To help him get back, or are you robbing him?
バンクス銀行帰宅支店です
They're gonna be
国家
like,
錬金術
this
師
is
エ
weird.
ドワード・エロリック氏の口座から現金の引き出しがあ
Or
りました
maybe they
代理人
suspect
だという男が
that somebody would be like tracing it.
はい
Oh,
確
it's
かに
so.
いただきましたよ。
Get him help.
タグこんなにぼったくりやがって。
何言ってんだい。口止め料も含めりゃ妥当だろ。
It's not really hush money because somebody's traced it. Oh dear.
気づかれたか。
はいはい。
Gotta
おや
get
軍人さん
moving.
どこか悪いので？
人を探している。
Oh dear.
この病院のものか。
Oh
門
no.
からゆっくりと両手を出せ。
最近この病院に出入りしているよそ者を見なかったか。
Literally right in front of you, dude.
特
But
徴
no
は
one ever
どうした？
recognizes
両手を上
Ed
げろ。
from the first
赤いコート
appearance.
で金
So
髪の三つ編み
probably
の
a good thing? Oh, that's the final straw. Sure. But he isn't wearing his braid and he doesn't have his red coat on. So understandable that they don't recognize him initially.
おい、ハリス。何があった？返事をしろ。
Oh dear.
ああ、全部一人でやっちまいやがって。
病人扱いすんな。もうバリンバリンの本調子全
He
開だ
looks
ぜ。
so good with his hair down.
赤コート、三つ編みで捜索されてんのか。
Are we going to see him with his hair
ここで
down
言うのが良さそうだ
for a
な。
while now? Because the braid is what people say that he has.
あなたか。そこの君、危ないから離れて。
He's so unfazed.
そっちこそ動くな。
He's like, mm.
足を確保するぞ。
I like him with his hair down. I think it looks better. The braid's iconic, but...
ゴリさん、追ってた。
Oh, it's a ponytail
追い
now!
つかれちまうぞ。
Oh my god.
危なかったな。
おい、どうだ後ろは。なんだかよく
He almost looks like Hohenheim with his ponytail. They're gonna get away.
その交差点を曲がったんじゃないか。
Oh, they've disguised the car. That's kind of cool. I remember he did something similar when he somebody's pram and he made it almost like a weapon.
めちゃくちゃかっこいいじゃん。
いいから帰ろ。頼むから帰ろ。
It is cool.
俺のセンスに文句あるってのかよ。
ありすぎだ。
At least he's back to his normal self somewhat.
あるのやつ。無事にウィンリーたちと交流
Does he know that the Chimeras have a Philosopher's Stone? Have they told him?
あるたちと合流しなくちゃ。
で、どこにいるんだ。どこへ行けば合流できる。
あるだったらどこへ行く。考えろ。考えるんだ。
Telepathy.
聞いてる？
父さんが奴隷で賢者の石。
やっぱり信じられないか。
It's kind of hard to
わかるよ。
believe.
いきなりこんなこと言われて納得するやつは頭がどうかしてる。
It is kind of fantastical.
受け入れるの。
So's
早いな
Al's story.
正直ビビってるよ。でも自分もこんな体だからかな。
Not exactly something most people would believe.
大切な人が先に行ってしまうのが嫌だな。
Yeah.
父さん。ねえ、父さんは賢者の石でまっとうな体じゃないんでしょ。だったら僕たちは。
果たしてまっとうな人間か？大丈夫だよ。賢者の意志と魂が融合しているけれど、核となっているのはあくまで俺という人間だから。
So they aren't impacted.
セントラルにいるあいつ。
He's something else
あれは俺
entirely.
の持ちた皮袋に入っているようなものだ。だからその皮袋を壊せば、あいつを倒せるはずだ。おお、やるな。ここまで調べたのか。こっちは逆転の錬成人だな。
手っ取り早いのは地下トンネルを壊すことだ。
So why are they recreating what happened in Xerxes? Because he's already immortal.
まだその日ではない。
その日。
Oh, does it have to be like the anniversary of what happened in Xerxes?
そうすれば見えてくるものもある。
Does the sun have to be in a specific position? Like an eclipse or
タイム
something?
シンレと
あいつは来たるべき日を待っている。
The coming day? What's the coming day?
俺が何したってんだよ。
Oh, he doesn't recognize him. He just wanted to see Greed.
お前みたいなのは大歓迎さ。
くそー、グリドさんみたいな真似しやがって。
そうだ、俺はグリード。よく知ってるな。この世のものすべて俺のもの。
It's a different
金も
version
欲し
of
い、
greed.
女も欲しい、地位も名誉も。
この世のすべてが欲しい。
あ、
He's like, how do you know this?
お前、何者？
グリードさん、そうなのか。
Oh,
なんだってそんな姿。
something's fracturing his sense of self. His old memories are coming back.
思い出した。
悪いな。それ多分前のグリードだ。
Oh,
俺はお前のことを知らねえ。
oh, that's awful. He just wanted to be with his friend.
なんだ？
Oh,
お
oh.
いおいおいおい。仲間を手にかけるとはどういう了見だ？仲間じゃねえ。
He was. Is Ling gonna be able to take control again?
前のグリードの記憶だ。俺のじゃねえ。
You are the last greed.
前のグリードの魂は記憶を消され浄化された。
No, they lived on.
忘れるわけないだろうが。
The part of you.
魂で繋がってんだよ。魂に染みついちまっているものをすすいで落とすことなんかできないんだよ。見ろ、全てを手に入れんとする強欲が聞いて呆れる。
Oh! Interesting. Okay.
私がちょうどあなたくらいの頃に読んだの。
I feel so sorry
世
for
界を
her.
旅する冒険家のお話よ。
She loves him like he's her own child, and all she wants to do is protect him. Greed. Or Ling. Not sure which one it is yet. Greed. But old greed. It has to be old greed because wrath was the reason that greed was captured and brought to the father and was melted down and became the little philosopher's stone that then got put into Ling. But it could also be Ling who has it out for Wrath as well because of everything that Wrath did to him and Lanfan. So kind of hard to tell, but I have a feeling it could be old greed because the memories were coming back into place, that simmering hatred and resentment because he had separated himself from the father, from the other homunculus. He had established himself as independent, wanted to do his own thing, built a friendship group of chimeras. I wouldn't say an army because they were more just people to keep in company, and was very much not on their side or agreeing with what they were doing. So it seems like he had his own contestations with the father and what the father was up to, hence why the father wanted to reclaim him and try and bring him back under his control. But now that conflict of memories that are like persisting in his mind are bringing back the old greed. He's saying, oh, those memories were erased, but they weren't because they linger in the soul. They're a connection to the people that you care about most. You can't just erase what you have felt and experienced. So, but it definitely has to be old greed because Ling is saying you need to get yourself together because if you don't, my soul's going to take back over the body and I need you to stay in control for a bit longer. Not quite sure why he needs him to stay in control a bit longer, but I'm sure we'll figure that out, but at least we got to know what happened with Ed. We got to know what was happening with Ling, because Ling's been gone for a while. We now have Ling barging in on Bradley. I feel so sorry for Bradley's wife, because she is the only innocent in that family. She's like cradling a homunculus without knowing and protecting him like he's her child. And Salim is like the most creepiest homunculus out of them all and the most terrifying out of them all. But yeah, this show is crazy. It's wild. I am looking forward to seeing how everything comes together, but why they want to do what happened in Xerxes, I'm not necessarily sure, because the whole premise of that was to gain immortality. He has immortality, so does Hohenheim. So what's the point? What's the purpose? Is it to gain further power? Because I know there is mention of like the statue and like Ed was focusing on the sun and it was like the timing of the sun was part of the pattern. And then now Hohenheim's saying to Al, like, it won't be done yet because it's not the coming day. And like he looks up and the sun is moving and it's to do with the sun god. So the powers that rival God, is it to rival the sun god? Is it to rival the abilities that no one else in this world has had before? Because obviously he's not going to gain immortality again, but he will gain immeasurable power. So it could just be that it's that part of the philosophy that he's done one aspect of it in Xerxes, but the second aspect will give him the power to rival God himself. I'm not entirely sure because again, it's not overly clear. Get drip fed little bits of information, but nothing solid, which makes it kind of hard to follow. But I'm sure we will find out eventually as to what is happening. And I have always said that Al will be the most forgiving out of the two of them when it comes to Hohenheim, because he's very similar to his mum. He's very easygoing. He's very loving and relaxed, whereas Ed is very like Hohenheim. He's hot-headed, he's stubborn. It doesn't mean he doesn't love his father, but he saw the impact his father's departure had on his mother, on his younger brother. He feels resentment and anger towards him. He feels like he's probably had to take up the role of being head of the household with his father having gone, that he's had to step into this protective position of his mother and his younger brother in a way that he shouldn't have had to do because of his age. But yeah, it's an interesting one nonetheless, because we're seeing the contrast. We're seeing Hohenheim realize that his sons do trust him, just in different ways, and that he needs to learn to trust them in turn, that he needs to tell them the truth and he needs to let them know what's going on. But that also means that we're going to see Ed run into Hohenheim and Al, because he's doing the whole, if I was Al, where would I go? He's not silly. He will click where Al has gone. They basically have sibling telepathy at this point, but they also just know each other too well. But I am interested in what this coming day is, if maybe it's just a date that marks what happened in Xerxes, or maybe the coming day is like a solar eclipse. I'm not entirely sure, but we will figure it out as we go, I guess. I still don't have all the parts. I have like little bits of the puzzle, but not the full picture still. Because again, the show is just very good at only giving you information when it wants to give you information. I don't think you're going to fully understand the whole purpose of what's happening until just before it happens, just before it builds to it, and then it'll click and you'll be like, oh my god, this is what it's for. Because we still don't fully know why this is all being done and for what purpose. We have had different interpretations that it could be destroying the country, but that doesn't make any sense. It could be replicating what happened in Xerxes, but why? We now have dummies to transmute souls into so that they can be an immortal weapon going forward, but they're kind of not immortal because they're going to fail at some point, as the soul's going to tug on the body and want to return to the body, so they're not without flaws. But this all just screams to me like world domination and wanting to gain as much power as possible to become the ruler of the world, or, you know, but that also seems quite a simplistic interpretation. I think the reason I get myself confused is because I'm thinking that it could be something more complicated, but it may actually be something really, really simple. And that's why it's maybe not clicked for me as much as it should have done. But I guess we'll have to see as the show progresses, but I love that we get to see Lior rebuild and Hohenheim gets it reasserted to him that humanity will constantly push forward, that they will find the strength to move on and that they can rebuild regardless of what's thrown at them. Because when we had that scene where Hohenheim was imagining his conversation with Pinako and also with Trish and was kind of wrestling with himself. Well, we thought he was wrestling with himself, but he was actually wrestling with the father. And this whole idea that humanity deserves to be wiped out in a race. And what's the point? Because humanity is foolish and they'll just repeat the same cycle over and over and over again. So why should we bother trying to help them? And Trish kind of steps in and was like, but we deserve to live, and regardless of whether we repeat the cycle or not, we can find ways to move forward. We can find ways to be better and change and grow. And Hohenheim, seeing this in Lior, reasserts why he set off on this mission to begin with, why he still has hope for a better future, is because he's seeing firsthand the capability of humanity's strength and persistence and willingness to help one another despite the violence, despite everything that's gone on, despite being diametrically opposed. Everyone has been able to come together to rebuild for a better future. And that's what Hohenheim wants to help contribute to, is a better future for humanity. And that means putting a stop to the father. But my worry is that in putting a stop to the father, it means putting a stop to Hohenheim, because they are kind of bonded. The father is a part of Hohenheim. And my biggest fear is that Hohenheim is going to have to make a sacrifice of himself in order to save humanity and save his sons, which is going to be really sad and bittersweet. But at the same time, he'd get reunited with Trish. But I don't want to imagine that that's what's going to happen. But I have a feeling it might be, because they're connected. But for now, that's all I want to say. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this react, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. And until next episode, bye!